Hello and welcome to Stats Behind the Transfer. In this episode we'll look at the movement of an English forward, leaving current champions Manchester City to join Thomas Tuchel with Chelsea under their new ownership. Raheem Sterling looks to be Chelsea's statement signing as he makes his move in the 2022-23 summer transfer window, switching Manchester for London, and a team looking to bridge the gap between the top two teams in the league, both of which are Sterling's previous clubs, Manchester City and Liverpool. A fee is rumoured to be in the region of £47.5 million for the English wide player, who becomes Chelsea's first signing of the window. Following multiple defensive departures, an area which the club are looking to strengthen, Chelsea add another attacking Premier League player with experience, as he looks for more consistent first-team football to prepare himself for the England World Cup squad later in the year. At 27 years of age, Sterling seems like he has been in the Premier League for a very long time. This is indeed the case now, as he's played 7 successive seasons for Manchester City after signing from Liverpool, where he spent 4 seasons, with his first Premier League appearance now coming back in the 2011-12 season. Sterling comes with an impressive trophy haul with Manchester City, which includes 4 Premier League titles, 1 FA Cup, 4 EFL Cups, and of course has won the most prestigious of all the trophies, the Community Shield. Internationally, Sterling has been an important player for Gareth Southgate in England, with 77 appearances and 19 goals. He was pivotal in England's run to the Euro 2020 final, where he scored 3 goals throughout the tournament. Overall, he has made 320 appearances in the Premier League between his previous 2 clubs, scoring a total of 109 goals, an impressive rate of 0.55 goals per 90 minutes played. His shot on target ratio of 41.7% is very good considering he plays in a range of attacking positions and not just the striking role. We'll compare later on how that looks against the other current Chelsea squad players. In the 2021-2022 season just completed, Raheem Sterling was part of an exceptional Premier League campaign for Manchester City, with the Englishman appearing in 30 of the 38 matches. As Pep Guardiola rotated his front 3 regularly, Sterling made a total of 23 starts. His shots on target percentage shows consistent improvement in the past 3 seasons. One of the criticisms of Sterling has regularly been his finishing ability. This stat does show progression, and in fact Sterling had the best shots on target percentage of anybody in the Manchester City squad by over 5%, with Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne recording at just over 40%. His goal score per 90 of 0.55 is high and much improved from a poorer showing in 2020-2021. Sterling scored 13 goals last season, which compared to 10 the season before, but did not touch his exceptional goal scoring campaign of the 2019-2020 season, where he hit 20 goals at a goal scored per 90 ratio of 0.68. From wide positions, Sterling would often ghost into the box for unopposed finishes, with low cutbacks or crosses finding him for tap-in finishes. With Manchester City's quick football around the box, Sterling is also key to goal creation, but recording just 5 assists, which was short of his 7 the season before. But here we also measure shot creating actions using available stats from fbref.com. These are defined as the 2 offensive actions that directly lead to a shot, which can be passes, dribbles and drawing fouls. They can also consider the shot taker themselves and have provided them to give a more rounded approach to just looking at the final pass assist. In this category, Sterling performed even better this time round than last, increasing his shot creating actions by 0.26 per 90 minutes to a further high of 3.81 created per game, whilst his goal creating actions were slightly less at 0.47 per game. He was an important player for Manchester City's team in terms of goal creation and scoring output. XG, as we all know by now, stands for expected goals and is a statistic that has become much more prevalent in analysis with regards to goal scoring performance. The illustration of the graph shows the last 5 seasons of Raheem Sterling in the Premier League, with the green rectangular bars displaying his goals scored and the pink the additional XG he was expected to score. Effectively, if the bar is on the bottom, he's outperformed his XG, and if the red bar is on the top, then he's underperformed. You can clearly see that in the last 2 seasons Sterling has underperformed against his XG, despite his high shot on target percentage suggesting perhaps a safer shot taking approach wasn't always paying dividends. While his best performances coming in both the 2018-2019 and 2019-2020 seasons, where he was much more clinical than he was expected to be. It's worth noting that a lot of the chances Manchester City create with their style are coming from a close range, particularly in Sterling's case, so they do carry a higher XG rating as they create more likely scenarios to score from than a lot of other teams. With a range of options in attacking positions that Guardiola has in his possession, we look at a direct comparison with one of England and Manchester City's brightest stars, Phil Foden. So how did they match up against each other on last season's stats? Well, both started a similar amount of games, with Sterling making more appearances off the bench than Foden. It's the outgoing wide player who scored more goals in Sterling, and when comparing goals per 90 minutes, Sterling also leads the way with 0.55 against 0.38. Both underperformed their XG, but Sterling missed out on 1.4 goals compared to Foden, who only marginally missed out with 0.1. Now, Phil Foden tops in the total number of shots per 90 ratio with 2.45 against 2.28, but this did not translate to his shots on target per game, and overall Sterling had a much more clinical shot on target percentage by over 9%. Now, the final stat relates to WhoScored.com, who apply their rating algorithm to all players in the Premier League and other competitions, with Foden coming out top with a 7.30. Both, however, it must be noted, are very high scores for the algorithm. It is worth mentioning both FBref and WhoScored.com are excellent places to check out their websites if you want to delve deeper into the stats. To give further context in where Chelsea are looking to improve, I've included a comparison against their attacking players from last season, who helped them secure third place and another year in the Champions League. Christian Pulisic missed the start of the season with an ankle injury and topped the best of Chelsea's wider players in terms of goal total. But when including Mason Mount, who is more of an attacking midfielder, Mount performed well with 11 goals, still behind Sterling in both goals total and per 90, but well ahead of other Chelsea creative players. But of course, Manchester City were much more creative than Chelsea last season and actually scored 23 more goals overall in the Premier League. Now, Mason Mount did do better than Sterling in the assist column, and when added together with the goals he was involved in, he's got more goals overall. Pulisic, Hakim Ziyech and Callum Hudson-Odoi were similar to Sterling in terms of their assists per 90, but not in total, as they did not match his minutes played. Looking at the XG, it's Mount again who tops the chart, and while Pulisic and Ziyech outperform their XG, it does display with their limited goals total that there was a difficulty in getting them into goal-scoring positions. Callum Hudson-Odoi did sadly suffer an Achilles injury which kept him out from February, so that does affect some of his total output numbers we see here. Mason Mount is again the leader when it comes to outperforming his AG, expected assist goals, while Sterling did outperform his expected assist but only by 0.4. Now, a key indicator of shot consistency is shots on target. As we've already noted with Sterling, he recorded very high in this category, with on this occasion Ziyech and Mount being the worst in the list, with Hudson-Odoi the most accurate with his shooting for Chelsea. Now we are going to revert to a slightly different take as we consider how the Football Manager game views Raheem Sterling in the recent 2022 edition. With attributes totalling out of 20, Sterling is rated very high in attacking attributes for an inverted winger, particularly on the technical side, on his dribbling, anticipation and off-the-ball qualities. His pace and acceleration is electric, matched with superb agility. Sterling also possesses phenomenal work rate and natural fitness, as Football Manager also applies the trait that Sterling likes to get into the opposition's area. In the Manchester City squad, he was certainly one of their most important players, more or less expected to be at his peak. But in Sterling's mind and Manchester City's, they see it as the right time for him to move on. His 4-star ability will be interesting how he will compare against Chelsea's other top attacking players, so keep an eye out how he performs in the next iteration of the game in FM23. The big question with Raheem Sterling is where does Thomas Tuchel look to fit him in? Out of his 33 games started in all competitions for Manchester City, he made almost 2/3 of these from the left wing position, when he's often switched with Phil Foden or Jack Grealish. But Sterling was also secondarily deployed on the right hand side, starting a third of his matches there. Now, the gut feel is he will be positioned left wing for Chelsea too, with rumours swirling whether Pulisic stays, and Chelsea potentially also in the market for a striker with the departure of Romelu Lukaku. This season before, he was even more predominant in a wide position. This offers Tuchel many different options for the coming season where he could fit Sterling in. With the new owners looking to make a statement, Sterling is certainly a big enough and well-decorated name to do just that. But there is no denying that he is an improvement over their current options, if he can work with Tuchel's system and rediscover some of his goal scoring and contribution that he had in a dominant Manchester City side. Thank you for watching this episode of Stats Behind the Transfer. Please drop us a like and let us know your thoughts on the transfer in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and please turn on that notification bell not to miss any of our upcoming content. Take care, and I hope to catch you next time.